through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell, my heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell, my heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell, my heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell, my heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell, my heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell, my heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell, my heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell, my heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell, my heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll
Okay, might as well go over here. I was just checking out Earnings Hub a little bit, but yeah, it's the Humble Pie episode. Let me see something. Okay, it follows me. It does follow me. Morning, Hunter. Morning, Scott. Morning, Chris. Yeah, it's I won't cry, but let's just say how I know Jim Cramer felt. Now, I will tell you what was interesting was yesterday as I was live on Substack, if you didn't join me, but I said 246 is in the cards because of this gap. There was a gap here, wasn't there? Another gap. This gap. So you filled this gap on the way down, on the way up already, but this gap, 238. That's the one that I was talking about. 238. This was the Robotaxi event drop. We got it back. So, it was pretty clear. What's interesting was when you look at the 5-minute chart. So I was on air and I was looking at this one and I'm like, ooh, there's a big pop. What the hell happened? This is a 1% candle in a 5-minute, which is big for any stock. And it just continues to go up. And it was 230 and I said, you can buy this one. It's going to 239. And obviously it pulled back, blah, blah, blah. But that's how you trade this one. And I think 260, just spoiler, I will go over it, but at 260 doesn't seem crazy. You can continue playing. Okay, I think she's going to continue playing. Morning, Jacob. More Larry. By the way, one thing that Larry, just so you know, we were talking about some T-shirts for the podcast. And one of them is Larry. So, okay, let's do a scan. Let's start doing scans because I got enough. We're going to talk about a lot because obviously Tesla was the one that I got wrong, but I'll kind of give you, there's been 2 other ones that I've gotten extremely right recently. So we'll go over the good, bad, the ugly, whatever it is. Actually, I'm going to log out from this particular one, and then we'll log back in. It's funny because I still have my paying subscription here. Brokerage holdings, Bitcoin and crypto. Nothing. Core investments, let's just make sure there's nothing in there. Covered call ETFs, nothing there. Energy names, UCO. That one's up 0.7. Oil, man, oil's got to get leveraged ETFs. This is UVXC AAPD, which isn't good for Apple, although it's kind of recovering a little today. I don't think that there was a question last night about, do I think Tesla brings up the entire sector and the tech sector? I don't think so. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think it's a hyperscaler like, Amazon or something like that. I think it's its own beast. And the way I look at it was Tesla was going down and the rest of the Mag 7 was going up. So there's been a divergence there. So let me look at CLS. CLS is good. I like CLS. Let's look at NASDAQ. That's going to have probably Moderna. There's not much. I mean, yesterday was tough. So NXPI, Texas Instruments, Charter, IDXX. Okay, let's look at the S&P. S&P index, Charter, RTX, TXN, Deer, and RTX. So, RTX, I don't think, I think some people got mad at me for about defense stuff yesterday, but hey, you do you. I'm not going to talk you out of something. I'm not going to talk you into something. You do you. The whole podcast is about not telling you exactly what to do. It's, hey, this is the stuff that I do. So, yes, that 61, definitely a resistance level at 57. I mean, this is still a super, super company. I think it's the valuation's not even that bad, I don't think. No. 15. It's the growth that, I mean, it's the levered free cash flow that it's not great. Profitability, this is where you kind of get into it. Gross profit margin at 10%, that's tough. When are their earnings? They come up. Is it today? Let's see. Is it after the bell? CLS. Celestica. Oh, come on, Earnings Hub. There it is. Celestica. Oh, I guess they announced. So are they up? Wow, yes. Oh, you weren't kidding, Chris. God, I wish I would have bought that on the dip. Wow, yeah. Whew. Let me bring that up in the earnings section. My list and didn't buy it. And CLS, I think it's an alpha pick, but pre-market up 10%. Yeah. Results, call presentation, earnings call preview, results. You can watch their slides here. Interesting. Okay. Q's, I mean, we dipped, but yesterday afternoon it was beat and raised. Lily's got some issues, but I continue to think this one, it's at 904. I think as you get under 900, I think you just buy it, to be honest with you. That gap down to 773, I can't imagine that comes into play. And their earnings October 29th, they just announced, Hims is down. I think it's Steph who likes Hims. Hims got killed. And it's because Lily is now saying that they're going to sue. I mean, this one went down from 23 to 2020. So, and Hims earnings are coming up November 4th. They better show, positive earnings and they might want to talk about the compounding of their drugs. Yeah, app is great. TLN. I think that's the one that I brought up. Yeah, that's the energy one that was VST, the competitor. I mean, it's only 105 days old. But you've got 197. 190 seems like probably a resistance, but you just don't have a ton of chart data to look at. But it's an energy name, so I can't imagine it's bad. So, okay, let's open up some some of our links here because I do have a big show. Peter Lynch, one of the greatest investors of all time. If you can read When to Sell, read it. LRCX reports this afternoon. I believe they report this afternoon. Oh, no, they already reported. Yeah, so it's up 6% in pre-market. It's just because it wasn't as bad. I think that's the one. No, Celestica, you can read their stuff. Amazon, now letting Prime members save on gas. Palantir and L3 Harris. And L3 Harris reports after the bell, I believe. They're going to be on CNBC. I know that one. Palantir's too expensive. That was the article. Palantir's too expensive, but L3 Harris right there. Let me see if they have a thing on David Einhorn. He went in on Peloton. Yeah, there we go. It's an interesting play. He basically says it's undervalued. So, great investor. Don't know that I necessarily believe it, but we're going to do a little bit of a deep dive into Apple because they had a horrible, horrible day yesterday. It's slightly up, and Dan Ives drops in on it, and it was because of this article. Drops as analyst says iPhone 16 orders are cut. We'll talk about that. Here's a great article on the Magnificent Seven. Obviously, Tesla's already done. This was printed yesterday at 10 o'clock in the morning. We'll talk about what could take us down, just my own take on it, and how bad Boeing is. It's not great. We're going to talk about the SOXL trade. We're going to talk about the GM trade that I got right. Uber and Lyft are affected. We'll talk about Dan Niles' take on Tesla. We'll talk about my take on Tesla. We will talk about Gene Munster's take on Tesla. And this particular one that is going to grow more. This was big, and this is directly from Tesla. So it's a good one to do. Cybertruck is the best-selling pickup and the third best-selling SUV behind the Model Y. I just kind of wrote down notes there. There's the Tesla quarterly revenues. Here is Dan Ives talking about the Golden Goose, which is the profit margin. And this is the entire Tesla is surging in one chart. I mean, that's it. So let's get this out of the way. The key takeaways from the Tesla report. So we'll talk about that. Okay. And we'll start out here. And the jobs report was good, I think. But nobody's even paying attention to the jobs report now. I mean, it's all about the Fed. It's all about inflation. It's all about, is inflation coming back? Nobody cares about the job report. Unexpectedly drop. I don't think it's unexpectedly drops, but it definitely surprised the street. I don't think anybody's going to want to read this, so I'm going to leave that out. I'll just mention jobs report, okay? No. So deliveries were slightly down, but Elon, next quarter is the highest quarter. It's the highest comparable quarter because I think they delivered 480,000 in the last quarter of 2023. So the comp is going to be tough, but Elon thinks they will beat it. And my note specifically, deliveries better than the last quarter, but the next quarter will be tough because last year was a record delivery quarter. They said they expect to be up slightly year over year which means they're going to have another record quarter next quarter. And I believe that means they'll need to be up 10% on deliveries next quarter, which is huge. But I think his comments about lower cost models coming in 2025, and I think he expects the refreshed Model Y. He couldn't say, I mean, you just can't say it because you're currently selling the Model Y. So I believe the refreshed Model Y will come out in this quarter. Now, that does mean for me particularly that it's going to saturate the market with used Model Ys, because I think a lot of the current people who bought in 2021, 2022 will upgrade, because I will tell you, the refreshed Model 3 is so good, so much better than the older Model 3. So I believe that, yes, he will see an influx of new deliveries. You're going to see a lot of Model Ys, used Model Ys that hit the street, and it's already bad. But it is what it is, okay? I'm going to hit record. Good morning. It is Thursday, October 24th. It's the Humbe Pie Show. No, I will not cry on air like Jim Cramer did. No, I will not blame management for bad information. Yes, I will take full responsibility for leading anybody down the path of TSLQ, but we'll go over kind of my trade, kind of what I looked at, kind of what happened, blah, blah, blah. And we'll bring up another couple stuff. So we're going to do a pretty good deep dive into Tesla, because it was that good of a quarter. It was just shocking how good it was. Uber and Lyft are down. We'll go over a GM, which was a great trade. We'll go over SOXL, which was a great trade. We'll go over why Boeing is still a bad company. What could take us down in this market? Because we're in a bull market until we're not. We'll go over the Mag 7. We'll go over a deep dive into Apple. We'll go over Peloton. L3 Harris teams up with Palantir. We'll go over that one. Amazon is taking on Walmart with gas discounts. We'll go over the earnings. CLS, CX, which is the only other chip equipment manufacturer, ASML, Dexcom, Capital One Finance, blah, blah, blah. And I got a special request from Charlie at MLS on SOFI. So we'll do a little bit of a deep dive into that one. Let's get this out of the way first. I am going to go over QQQ, because QQQ had a bad day yesterday. And what we're seeing is buy the dip reaction. It's up 1%. Is it Tesla that brings that up? Maybe. Is it good earnings expected? If you look at Tesla against the other Mag 7, this one hasn't performed. So is this one catching up? Let's take a look at the Qs from a seasonality standpoint, okay? Seasonally, look, 100% in November for the last 5 years. That goes back to 2020. 2020. Let's go back to 2018. This was when they launched the Model 3. November is one of the best months for Tesla. For the Qs. 83%. So we're looking at potentially getting above this 500 on the Qs. That's probably pretty good. And again, I don't know why I picked 2018. I'm getting confused with QQQ and Tesla. But the Qs, we're heading into good months. It's October 24th. Next week is November. So it's time to start taking seasonality into factor with good seasonality, not bad seasonality, good seasonality. So I like it. I like this play. I like this pullback. If you can get the Qs under 490, I think you're setting yourself up for the next few earnings, because we saw Tesla blow it away. I do think that others blow it away, but let's go into Tesla, okay? Tesla, I was live on Substack yesterday, and everybody saw the look on my face as TSLQ went down. Okay, TSLQ is just getting hammered. And if you're in TSLQ, you should have been watching the earnings. Don't just buy and pray. Something that is a double leveraged daily ETF, you can't just sit and pray. Okay. It's down 28% today. I got out, I think at about 24, 23. I had 3 shares. I wasn't big on this one. Even though I was fairly certain that the reasons justified this, I wasn't in big. 3 freaking shares, less than $100. So I didn't go big. I saw this gap down here, and I told you guys I was a little bit concerned. That's the robotaxi. This is TSLQ, so this is an inverse one. The RSI was super high, but I got in at about 20. I got in, I think, about 21. I think I got out at about 23 or so. Yeah, I still got out with a very small gain. It wasn't big because I wasn't in this one big. But let's go over Tesla. Today, it would be the double leverage Tesla. I think it's TSLU. No, TSL. Let's see. There is a leveraged ETF. TSLT, double long. TSLT is up 25%. 25% TSLT. I got to make sure I have this one in the watch list. No, leveraged ETFs to trade. So we'll go TSLT. But Tesla, I said it yesterday, and you can check the live on as we were going through it. As they started releasing data into the market and they started doing this, I said, you know what? This robotaxi gap, the gap down, it went from 224 up to 237. I said, you're feeling it. You're at 244 right now. So you're welcome if you were on the live and you bought Tesla. I still think this quarter was so good. We'll go over the reasons why. This quarter was so good that 260 comes back into play. Key takeaways from this: margins higher, deliveries better, more than just EVs, solar. Balance sheet, great. Tail of the tape, just good. Analyst reaction, just positive all around. Here is Tesla in one chart. Gross margins. It's gross margins. Okay. And Brian goes over it in video if you want to watch this. But this is just it in one chart. It's gross margins by business line. Okay. Auto on its way back up. Services on its way up. Energy on its way up. That's it. I mean, that is essentially Tesla in one chart. Now, if you want to watch Dan Ives goes over it great. The margin is the story. That's the golden goose. Because what did I say? They're not selling enough FSD and the margins won't go up. What did they do? They dropped the mic on me. They reduced cost by 6%, which goes directly to gross margin. They reduced cost by 6%. Auto X credits jumped 17% versus 14% in June. Street was expecting 14. I was expecting a slight quarter over decline. They cut their losses by cost by 6%. What other car manufacturer can do that? None. And you want to know why? It's because of the unions. What did we just go through this past 6 months? We went through union fights with the auto manufacturers. They can't cut by 6%. Tesla can. And so they didn't need to increase the FSD stuff, which is still on the horizon. So that's in their back pocket. Here's the quarterly revenue by source. Energy, services, total, automotive. Look at the automotive, the light blue. It's up. Look at services. Stays about the same. Look at energy. It tends to pull back, but they said they expect it to go up. Okay? It's really, really good. Here's the highlights directly from them. Produced their 7 millionth vehicle. Preparations for new vehicles, including lower cost models that will come out next year. Record gross margin. Cost of goods sold per vehicle came down to its lowest level ever. Refresh Model 3 ramp continues successfully. Cybertruck production increased sequentially and achieved a positive gross margin for the first time. That's huge. China produced its 3 millionth vehicle. All of this, really, really good news. Now, Musk says 20 to 30% year over year delivery growth in 2025. The street's only at 15%. That's what pushes this over $260. Okay, the Cybertruck is going to grow. It's now the best-selling pickup. I think it's third behind the Model Y. That's crazy. And when they say they're going to be up year over year on deliveries this year, This is a great from Dan Niles. He goes over all of this stuff. This is fantastic. This is just how to look at a stock 101. This is great. But when he says they're going to launch new vehicles next year, I don't think he's including the refreshed Model Y, which I think is coming out Q4 of this year. I think that comes out Q4, and I think that's what pushes their Q4 deliveries year over year even higher. That's it. Tesla reverberates, EV peers rally. He also said they're testing out a ride-sharing app that employees now use in California. It's not available to the public. He didn't express the details, but they are getting ready to launch this app, the ride-sharing app. Will they partner with Lyft? Will they partner with Uber? I don't know. But TSLL, that's the double leveraged ETF. It's up 26%. Again, there's nothing bad in this one. I think it pushes this over to 260. We can go and look at the chart, but that 260 is a resistance level. And if you pull this back, how did I get this? Well, let's look at the weekly chart, because you can see, let's see, that it used it as support right here a couple of times. Then it broke down. Then once, twice, 3, 4, 5. I think this is the earnings report that pushes it over 260. Do we get back to 415? That's going to be a tough sell. I mean, honest to God, that's going to be a tough sell. Let's pull this volume weight back here to a realistic place where we can kind of see, okay, we'll pull it to where it really broke down before, below 260. And where's the volume? There's not a lot of volume up above. There's just not a lot of volume up above. So it's going to need to break new ground. But I do think if FSD, he says FSD should be fully available in 2025. Fully available in 2025. That's huge, because that's the high margin product. While Tesla currently isn't licensing or operating a commercial transportation or ride-hailing service, it says it's testing its ride-hailing app that some employees in California have used this last year. It plans to roll it out to public sometime next year. And they pumped their solar business. I think this pushes them up above 260. If you want to buy this at 245, I think you're okay. Do not buy a double leveraged ETF on a daily, because this will experience a huge amount of volatility. Don't expect this one to go bottom left to upper right. Expect this one to trade. How can you trade it? In my 4-hour algorithm. During this 2-year period time, okay, 2 years where you've experienced the stock going down, my algorithm makes you 165% over 24 months. 22 positions. So it's less than once per month that you're trading. It just got you in at 217. It got you right out in the afternoon. So if you were listening to this one, there is no way I would have told you at close to get out of this one. I would have said, you know what? Balls off. Let's just stay in at 217. You're at 240 right now, 245. Again, I think that 260 provides some resistance, but I think we get over it with all of these details. Now, I was wrong about this one. Humble Pie. I own a Tesla. I love Tesla. I was right about GM. Look at GM. I think you're going to pull back here and use 50 as your support level. That's what I think. I was right about using SOXL, and I think Q4, remember, we're in Q4. I was right about SOXL. Algorithm got you in here 31. It got you out with a 9% gain. Hasn't gotten you back in, but I'd still be in this at 31. This is a 3 times levered bull on the semiconductors. I think earnings are just getting started. If this one goes back to its to this trend line right here and uses it as support, you can buy it. Do I care that I buy it at 31 or 33? No, I think this is the trend, and I think it continues. Because honestly, the largest holding of SOXL, it's gonna be Nvidia. So I have gotten some things right in this one. You can see Nvidia 6%, Broadcom, Advanced Micro, and this is all triple leveraged based on options. So it's not something that you want to really kind of hold on to. But I am, this guy says Tuesday, October 22nd, playing with fire. I don't think you're playing with fire. I think you're fine. If you want to buy NVIDIA, you can buy one of those triple leverage ETFs just on NVIDIA. I just think this is a good, easy way for the fourth quarter to do it. Now, how bad is Boeing? We heard on the earnings yesterday that, hey, we've got an agreement with the union. The union, the workers said, hell no, we ain't agreeing to that one. Hell no, we ain't agreeing. How bad is it? It's down another 2% to 153. Do not try and time this bottom. This is again, we talked about good companies with good products, with good earnings and good management. This one, it's a new CEO, hasn't proven himself. But the management prior, horrible. They have just done horrible. So I wouldn't try and time this one. I would just, this is the reason I took it out of the core portfolio. It's just not worth it. And by the way, just kudos to Seeking Alpha for the dark mode. I'm just such a fan of that one. I turned on dark mode the other couple days ago. Let's talk about the Qs and let's talk about what could take us down. Because overall, the market, again, even with Tesla doing well, remember that one has lagged the Mag 7. So over here, there's an article, Magnificent 7 Q3 preview, all eyes on AI market gains as big tech earnings loom. Tesla already reported, this was written at 10 a.m. yesterday, so it's not going to include the Tesla stuff, but Tesla is the one that lagged. Okay, Google's the other one that lags. Microsoft up, Apple up, Meta up, Amazon up, NVIDIA up. So Tesla is the one that lagged. We can expect some volatility around all of these names. What could take us down? And again, this is the main portion of the Qs, but what could take us down? What if AI doesn't do what it promised? We'll talk about Apple here. Apple just released some of their Apple Intelligence stuff on the iPhone, but they are out there tamping down expectations. They have management out there going, this is a multi-year process. And the iPhone 16 isn't selling as well as it should be, according to AT&T, Verizon, and others. And they got killed yesterday because the lead supply chain analyst brought down and said, hey, there's 10 million fewer iPhones on order for next year than the previous year. So we'll go over that one. So what if AI doesn't produce what it promised? That could take us down. I mean, that would be an enormous one. What if the deficit takes us down? What if the U.S. can't maintain the debt that we're in? And we need to cut the interest rate in order to be able to pay back, and it just spirals. The thing that's in front of you is not the thing. By the way, I'm probably not going to be right on what takes us down, because the thing in front of you is not what takes you down. It's the thing missing. Remember the 2007, 2008 housing crisis? Nobody saw that one coming. That's where Michael Burry made his money, but it took him 3 years to make his money. He almost went broke before he made billions. So again, it's the thing that you're not looking at. It's the squirrel over there that you don't see while you're sniffing the grass over here, just to use a dog analogy. But is the deficit one? Because that's something that we all know is a problem. Nobody's talking about it, but we all know it's a problem. NVIDIA. What if NVIDIA one quarter comes out and misses and says, you know what? We're not growing 100% year over year. What if that happens? That could take the market down. What if one of these hyperscalers like Amazon, Google, Meta, or Microsoft says, you know what? We've got enough. We've got enough. It's out there. It's doing what it needs to do. We've got enough. And so, this article about the Mag 7, all eyes on AI market. We're not in a bubble. This is not 2000. This isn't something where we're going to see a 40% pullback because valuations are crazy. There are some that deserve a pullback, like Apple trading at 30 times. They're going to need to grow into that. Whether they can buy back enough stock with the cash that they have on hand in order to reduce that multiple, or they can grow with some iPhone sales or other hardware sales. There's a lot in this market. A lot. So let's take a look at Apple. Apple got killed yesterday on this analyst. He's the best supply chain analyst out there. Apple says he says they may sell 10 million less iPhones. He said this could not show up in the revenue until next year. So again, maybe this offers some huge volatility. It's not a minor issue. Dan Niles put it well. with Verizon and AT&T coming out with major iPhone upgrade sales coming down, and AT&T CEO says they didn't see upgrades, it's lagging behind last year. This article points it out really well. You know, this is Dan Niles. I posted on Apple's with the stock down 5% year to date about a likely AI-driven iPhone replacement cycle. Now the stock is up 20% year to date on AI optimism. But the comments from AT&T and Verizon on earnings calls this past couple of days do not support it. This is a great detail. Here's the AT&T call and the Verizon earnings call. He quotes them both. And then what happens? Apple all of a sudden, Apple says, you know what? We're rolling out the beta of 18.1, which includes Apple Intelligence stuff. Doesn't include everything, but it includes some. Are they rushing it out because of this narrative? Are they rushing it out to try and get some people to upgrade to the iPhone 16 before the holidays? Probably. But the one thing I can tell you, nobody's buying this Vision Pro. Reduced Vision Pro production since summer. Sharply reduced. Is anybody getting a $1,500 Vision Pro this year for Christmas? No. And most people that I know that have one, it's just sitting in their closet. So do I think that Apple is a buy here? I would say, for me, I sold at $229. I sold about $15,000 worth in one lump sum. That's a major sale of Apple for me. It doesn't cut into my Apple position because I've got millions and millions of dollars of Apple. So again, $15,000 ain't going to make a big difference. But for me, that was a big one. Now it traveled all the way up to $237. Was I happy? No. But when you look at the valuation of this company and you look at the history of this, the sector forward PE is 23. The sector PEG going forward is 1.8. And this one has a 3.7 PEG ratio going forward and a 35 PE. And then you look at the growth, and their revenue growth is 0.43. Now, the profitability, there is nothing that beats an Apple margin. 45% gross profit margin. Return on equity, 160%. Okay? Levered free cash flow, 22%. All of this is fantastic. Momentum, it's been great. Revisions, 33 up, 6 down on earnings per share. 31 up, 4 down. So in my mind, I'm not selling Apple, but I'm also not buying it until those earnings come out and we can see what's happening. Because if it's just more of the same, where, hey, we made a ton of cash. Yeah, we've got some regulatory issues with the App Store. Yeah, we've got services revenue that continues to go up, but we may be too greedy for our own good. Maybe that's something that goes on. But, maybe Tim Cook announces some type of retirement plan. That won't be good as well because management changes are sometimes tough for the stock to happen. It took Tim Cook a while to take over for Steve Jobs. And he's done it really, really well because you take a look at this 10-year chart and look at that stock price. I mean, don't you wish you would have bought Apple at $28 and now, 10 years ago? So I like this stock. I still like it. I'm still holding it. Wall Street's price target, by the way, is $240. That's 4% upside. So one that has been beaten up that I used to like. I do not own a Peloton. Yes, I probably could have bought one. I did the Peloton hack where I bought a Sunny bike off of Amazon, put some sensors on it, and used the Peloton app for $12. The Peloton app is no longer $12. It's like $40 a month. David Einhorn yesterday with Greenlight Capital, he put a bunch of money into it, and he says it's undervalued. Now, the quant has it as a strong buy. We can take a look at this. The valuation, not crazy. They're not making money, though. Their growth, horrible. Their profitability, horrible, except their gross profit margin. They've been able to keep up at 44. The momentum, they've been doing really well. 6 months, you're up 100%. 3 months, you're up 74%. We can take a look at this chart because the chart kind of blew me away. And do I think it's overvalued? I don't think it's undervalued. I don't think it's overvalued. They're not making money. So I'd rather trade this one. Now, my 4-hour algorithm over the last 2 years, it makes you 4%. Why do you want to make 4%? Well, because if you bought and held for 2 years, you're down 31%. So timing matters. When we talk about the momentum, they do 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and 1 year. 1 year, you're up 33%. That's great. We can take a look at this weekly chart that shows you exactly where. Now, we just have a 200-day. That's coming down. 50-day, moving kind of negative to the sideways. The RSI, completely overbought. It's at 69. If you get a pullback below $5 on this one, I think you could probably buy it with this assumption that David Einhorn bought in. Okay, Wall Street. There are 22 analysts that cover this. Their average price target, $5.35. That's what I'm saying. If you get below $5, I think you could buy this. So if you have a Peloton, if you don't have a Peloton, if you don't subscribe to the service, why would you even get into this? You know, it's up 10% today. 10%, or that's yesterday. Pre-market, it's at 627, so it hasn't opened up in pre-market. But if you don't own a Peloton, don't even use this. Let's talk about L3 Harris, because this is a stock that I often cover. Sarcasm. I've never covered L3 Harris. They have earnings announcement today. They announced a partnership with Palantir yesterday. Both of these in the quant are a hold. L3 Harris reports after the bell. I think it's interesting. I'm not a L3 Harris like expert. The partnership encompasses various ongoing initiatives, including collaborations with the U.S. Army, programs like Titan, and leveraging Palantir AIP internally at L3 Harris for enterprise-wide digital transformation. L3 Harris is a industrial. It's an aerospace and defense company. You can see it's been doing fine. I mean, it's been doing fine without Palantir. But Palantir, is it time to cut? We've talked about this all the time, that Palantir's valuation just doesn't make sense to me. But valuation sometimes doesn't matter. In pre-market, this is up 1%, back up to 43. Okay, this particular analyst who has had it as a buy since November 12th, 2023, he's up 116% since then. He had it as a buy on February 24th of this year. He's up at 80% since then. He had it as a buy June 17th. He's up 70% since then. On the pullback in August, he had it as a buy. He's up 76%. He has a fantastic track record with this thing. Now, he said it's not a bubble. When it was on August 5th, he's up 76% since August 5th. That is an enormous win. So you want to take a listen to him. Okay, stock has surged to all-time highs. I recommend new investors wait for a pullback before buying. That's what I've said. Palantir remains a strong company with gross possibility, but I'll reconsider a buy rating if it drops closer to 30. That's where it's probably fairly valued, even overvalued. At 43, I think it's overvalued. But this one's interesting. Again, go and read this article. It's going to be in the newsletter. Now, Amazon is taking on Walmart. Amazon Prime members can now get 10 cents off per gallon at BP stations. This is in direct competition with Walmart, which offers Walmart Plus. They offer a discount at Exxon and Murphy gas stations. Next year, the program will be expanded to EV charging stations operated by BP Pulse. So yes, as an Amazon Prime member, they're rolling things out and they're expanding those Prime member benefits. And they have the captured audience to do it. Because I don't know about you, I'm not getting rid of my freaking Amazon Prime. I don't have Walmart Plus. I enjoy picking out my own produce. I enjoy squeezing lemons or cantaloupe or melons. My pineapple is in the shopping cart. I just can't trust somebody else to pick out my fruits and stuff. It's just my thing. But Amazon is taking on, this is in direct response to stuff. Now, what I want to show you one thing is if we go to top stocks, okay, this always, for the last few months, it was PSIX. It's no longer PSIX. So there's QFIN, there's Carnival, there's JD, there's UAL. This is the top stocks in the Seeking Alpha Quant. Okay, it doesn't mean that PSIX still isn't a strong buy. It just means it's not the top stock. So are one of those others, one of these that will continue to go up? Remember, PSIX went all the way to 25, and it's still a strong buy in the quant. This is a heavy electrical component, industrial. And it's got a market cap of $427 million, not billion. So it's $427 million. Remember, there are Dick's Sporting Goods that make more revenue than that, and that's the market cap of this company. But the quant was able to pick it out. So, yeah. And let's talk about there's a bunch of others in there. So go over to Seeking Alpha, folks. I just noticed that yesterday. I wanted to point it out. Now, an alpha pick, CLS. Okay, this is an alpha pick. I'll just put it out there. I don't know if it's in the last 3 months or not, but if I'm breaking any rules, shame on me. But this is one. Okay, this one's up 9% in pre-market. This is one that was on my list to buy, and I missed it. I didn't even have an alert for when their earnings were coming out, but it was after the bell yesterday. They blew it away. The algorithm got you out with a 22% gain on this pullback. Now, we talked about this 61 being resistance on CLS, okay? You can read their entire earnings presentation right here on Seeking Alpha. But this chart is very clear. 61 was a resistance. Does it turn into support? Because you're trading at 62 after their earnings. Yes, this MACD goes flying up. Yes, the weekly goes to 50, or I'm sorry, the RSI goes to 52. Look at this weekly chart. You didn't even pull back to the 9-day. Okay? But the MACD reset, the RSI pulled back. It was actually on, this was trading at $40 on September 2nd. $40. And you're trading at $60 now. What? A month and a half later? That's a fantastic, and it's not crazy. This is not an overvalued stock. CLS. The quant has it as a strong buy. This is alpha picks. Okay, I show you all of this because premium and alpha picks are on sale. $639. That's $159 savings. If you're paying 1% to a financial analyst to do this stuff, why? Because Seeking Alpha, the alpha picks, makes you 145%. These are 2 stocks every month. So it's one on the 1st and one on the 15th. We got another one coming up on the 1st. The 5 most recent ones were up more than 10% since they picked them. And I only mentioned one. So again, this is a great portfolio. If you're paying a financial analyst or if you're paying ETFs more money and they're not making this return, try alpha picks. Again, get the bundle. And I suggest the bundle for anybody that listens to this because the premium service allows you to look up your own portfolio with the quant. If you just get alpha picks, you don't get access to Seeking Alpha Premium. I think that the bundle is worth it. So, and we talked about trading Tesla in the algorithm. Get Trendspider. That's the 4-hour algorithm. So all of this is on the link tree, linktr.ee/daily stock pick. And all you're going to do for Seeking Alpha, the bundle is the second link if you want just Seeking Alpha Premium because you want to do your own research. You don't need alpha picks. For me, I never would have signed up for alpha picks had it not been for the portfolio gains that they have. But I'm actually happy that I did because, you know, several of these stocks I've actually bought and I've made a lot of money on them. Several I haven't bought that have gone crazy, like POWL. I'm still not in PWL. Why I'm not in PWL, I have no idea. Sprouts Farmers Market took off. But again, bundle up, get both of them. If you want them separately, those are down there below as well. Trendspider is the top link. The only thing you have to know is if you sign up for Trendspider, use the upper right-hand email and just email me with a screenshot of your account so that I can get you under my program so that when I update watch lists and update some of the scanners, you can get access to those. So again, but you'll get the algorithm, you'll get everything that I do. But CLS killed it on earnings. And you can see their presentation right here in Seeking Alpha. Now, another one, killed it on earnings. Killed maybe a little bit over exaggeration. But that's LRCX. And we talked about ASML, kind of any reaction in the market being an overreaction. ASML was the Dutch company that had just a shit show where their earnings were released early, and they leaked. They were leaked because they were put on a portion of the website that somebody found, and then they had to come out and said, "Yeah, it's really that bad." And so it came out, and you can see it was using 875 as its support level, broke down, and it's gapped down. I don't think it's a bad thing at 700. I don't know enough about it. I haven't really investigated it. The algorithm makes you 47%. Buying and holding over 24 months makes you 72%. This is part of the AI trade. I think it's fine. But again, Lam Research came out and said, yeah, we don't know what the hell ASML is talking about. Everything's fine. So you can read about that there. DEC. If we go over Earnings Hub, we can look at some of the ones that are reporting today after the bell. DEC, which has just been a monster of a stock, reports. This is Hoka. If you're into running, these are the Hoka brand shoes. That's basically, it's not the boat shoes that's driving this stock. It's not, a Skip or a Thurston who's at the yacht club driving this stock. Look, on a weekly, the MACD is reset. The RSI is down at 50. If we go over here and we look at DEC in the quant on Seeking Alpha, we can see it's a hold. Why is it a hold? The valuation's crazy. The valuation's nuts. It's a 28 PE going forward. In footwear, the average is 17. Okay, growth, 20% revenue year over year. Yeah, it's good. I like that growth. I would be willing to take it, but their comps are CapEx growth minus 18%. So they're not investing in the business. That's what that tells me. Again, I think this is a good company. I think you could do it. If we go and look at Wall Street, they're going to have a buy. It's a buy, and it's a $177 price target. They know better than I do, but they chased it up. Is this an opportunity to buy it? Again, if you go to Earnings Hub and we look and we pull up DEC, where is DEC? Where is DEC? There it is. I was looking for a shoe. They announced 75 cents per share last quarter. They're expected $1.21. It's a big increase. They announced $825 million in revenue. They're expected $1.2 billion in revenue. So the growth is there if they meet it. If not, you can expect to see a little pullback on this stock. So keep an eye on that one. There is also Dexcom, which is reporting. This one, I'll show you the chart in a second. This one is just a shit show. This guy blamed sales. He blamed the sales folks for their last miss. They had $1 billion in revenue last time. It's going to be rounded up to that 989. So they're not expecting a growth. 43 cents per share, 43 cents per share. And this chart, again, my dad owns this one. I could kill myself for not selling this one at like 100 or so. But Dexcom is one that has just gapped down, and I don't know that they can bring it back if they're expecting it to go up by that much, or just meet. Let me pull this up real quick. 4 hour right there, and we'll go and look at Dexcom. DXCM. DXCM. Look at that gap. We haven't touched that gap much. When you gap down to, it looks like the low here was 62. Now you're at 73. So again, the low was that, but you still have a gap up here to 77. This is juicy. It's juicy, but I wouldn't expect it to, if we go and look at Dexcom. This is, by the way, it's diabetes. It's a monitoring risk of performing badly. It's a strong sell in the quant. Why? The company has a price to book forward of 9.2, while the healthcare sector is 2.82. It's just expensive. It's just expensive. And so I would be a little bit concerned about this one. My dad's still holding this one. I think it's a good company. I just think that CEO effed up last time. Blaming the sales folks, it could be an interesting one. Here's the earnings preview. I'll put this in the newsletter for you guys. I wouldn't want somebody to take a chance on this one because, again, it could be a good one, but this is the danger of earnings. When you look at this weekly, Do we have a positive 50-day? No, we have a negative 50-day. And it's a death cross right there. Do we have a positive 200-day? No, it started to turn. The only thing going for this is that the MACD is so far down and that the RSI is so far down. But if this company comes out with a shit show of earnings like they did last time, and all of a sudden the CEO says we couldn't hire salespeople fast enough, you're screwed. So I'd rather see you buy at 80 than to buy at 74 beforehand and see it drop down to 60, because there's the chance that, yes, this one drops down to 60. Now, I will tell you, if you put this on a weekly basis, if you just go and put this at about 67, 68, look at how the support once, twice, and now 3 times. So would I expect it to get back here to the COVID lows of 45 or even the COVID highs of 56? I wouldn't. But if they come out with a shit show of earnings, you can expect that. Now, another one that's coming out is Capital One Finance. Financials have done really, really well. Really well. So the last time they reported, $3.14. This time they're expected $3.86. They're expected to increase their revenue as well. Financials have done well. This one, my only concern is that they have exposure to consumer credit card. And if the consumer is defaulting on the credit card, this is one that will happen. So let's talk about education-wise. This is just a page from Peter Lynch's book on when to sell. And he talks about his mistake with Warner. And I thought this was good. Go and read this paragraph. But he talks about his mistake with Warner. I thought it was really, really good. Now, my friend Charlie from MLS, he said, hey, long time no talk. And he said, first time, he basically says, long time listener, first time caller. What's up with SOFI these days? So SOFI has been one. It's up at 11.05. It's at 11.05. It's up 6% today. I don't know why. We can go and look at news, but we can look at this chart. Does something stick out to you in this chart? Is it the current price? Is it the turnaround that we're seeing? If we just go and we say, okay, let's just put the $11 in here. Let's put where we're trading today. Is there anything that kind of, $11? Is it there? We said this one, that $10 range, was a pump. The last time this one pumped, it got to $11.70. The last time this one pumped, it got to $10.49. You just started on the weekly, your 200-day. You're trading just above it. You're trading just above it. But let's look at the financials because, again, this one, RSI, it's completely overbought at 73. If you get to 12, consider that a blessing. But again, read Peter Lynch's thing. He got out of those things way too early. So let's look at this one with a mind knowing that this one is not trading at its 52-week high, because it is. It's trading at its 52-week high. But let's take a look at it, with open eyes. The quant says it's a hold. Where has it been a hold? It's been a hold this whole time. So I wouldn't necessarily put a ton into that one, but let's look at some of the valuation because, again, the quant is based on these 5 things. Okay, the PE going forward is 86. They're not making money, so you don't have a current PE. And then you go and look at the growth. Well, this is fantastic because this is a financial company that's returning 30% year over year growth. The management, Charlie said this, he's a big believer in that management. I am too. I love the CEO. I think that guy's just freaking brilliant. So the growth, great. Profitability is a shit show. It's an absolute shit show. Gross profit margin has been growing at 82%. But they're just not making money. It's an expensive business to be in. And the student loans that they have, Biden keeps pushing those off so that people aren't don't have to pay them. Now that they do have to pay them, they're starting to do pretty well. And they're turning around and they're monetizing that business. So that's what it hopes for. That's the only thing I know about this company. Momentum, you're doing well. 1 year, you're up 45%. 9 months, you're up 34%. Again, momentum trumps most of these other factors. And the revisions, you have 12 up, okay? 12 up on earnings per share, none down. So everybody's expecting this to start turning around. Revisions up on revenue, 11 up, only 1 down. So you take a look at this and you say, okay, well, what does Wall Street say about this? Wall Street has 17 analysts that cover this. 9 of them say hold. And they have an $8.83 price target. You've just broken above it. You've broken up above it before. It's not like you haven't, but they've chased this one all the way down. Now, do I believe that this one is set for a breakout? I don't know. I told Charlie, I said, I'd probably be selling up here. I could be making a mistake. Listen, I'm the guy that just told you that Tesla was good to short. Hell no. Again, a good manager of a good firm. And this guy is an absolute rock star. Charlie is right. He's an absolute rock star on this. Their earnings are coming up. Let's see. It is October 28th. So it's next week. On a short term, you're overbought. Your MACD is just super high. But on a weekly, I mean, it's the same kind of thing. The MACD isn't too high, but your RSI is at 73. In my mind, if you're not in this, I'd wait till earnings. If you are in this, I would wait till earnings. I would at least trim 20% of my position if I were you. Take some profits. I think Charlie's in this one at a higher price. He might be in at a lower price, but I think Charlie, great question. And thank you for reaching out. By the way, I miss all my MLS folks. I haven't worked with you guys in a while. Doesn't think I don't think about you. But I don't know, work people. Do I reach out to work people? It's kind of weird. I don't know. But again, please tell if you are an MLS person, give me a shout out on my text because you know me, and let me know that you're listening. But Charlie, I'll send you this clip. Thanks for reaching out. I really appreciate it. And I miss you guys. From Spotfiy, Foundable, Foodebs, and my apologies if I'm mispronouncing your name. Just wanted to say thank you as a 17-year-old swing trader. You've helped me build my portfolio over 6 figures. You make your analysis very easy to understand. 6 figures, dude? At 17? That's crazy. It's awesome. Awesome. I mean, kudos to you. I hope my approach to you guys, and just so everybody knows, it's to teach you how to fish. It's not to give you, my picks on TSLQ. I hope you're taking those with a grain of salt, because picks and stuff like that, it's just educated guesses. But what I'm trying to do is tell you how to look at these stocks. So Brian, he put out, I wanted your thoughts on one position, RR. This is Rich Tech Robots. It doesn't align with stocks that I'm in for the most part. My short elevator pitch is really Rich Robotics. Think it will take, but really catching on though. They're building out ghost kitchens at Walmart and bringing new products to market. I viewed them as similar to Serve, with better financials initially looking at them. My hospital uses one of their robots for supply delivery, so I see it every day, the tremendous potential their products have. The stock is so beaten down, though, and I'm always sitting around $100 to $150 in it. I've been cutting losers in this portfolio, but I've been resistant to cutting this one. Grand scheme of things. Remember, in a stock like this is a Tinder date. This isn't a marriage. This is... You could ghost this person if you wanted to. It's not the right thing to do. But, if they have emotional damage, maybe they come and show up at your door and go, how dare you ghost me? But again, this is just something in my mind that you date. I can tell it right by the chart. This isn't something you hold on to. I do think that if you got a small amount in this one, you could probably, my problem is that it just very much looks like a bad stock. And this is why I don't invest in IPOs, because sometimes they come out and they're hyped up and robotics is a hot theme and it's not covered by the quant. It's not covered by any Wall Street executives. So analysts, look at the valuation. They're not making money. I don't know that anything would put it in their growth. Their revenue, 24%. So at least they have some revenue. Their profitability, gross profit margin's good, 71%, but they're spending so much money, and that's the problem. And then you go into momentum. It's all down. So in my mind, Brian, if you see the robot, what I would do with this one, if I'm currently holding it, if it's a small position and you're not losing sleep on it, but you believe in it, hold it. Just hold it. Don't worry about the red in your portfolio, because if it's not a big, it's like TSLQ. If I was down on that one, I wouldn't worry about it. It was less than $100. Yeah, the red bothers me, but it's not, it's not affecting my net worth. It's not affecting my sleep at night. So, if you believe in it, and again, like you said, they're using a robot in your hospital, so you see the potential, hold on to it. And then if it starts pumping up, this is very much like the browser wars of 2000. Everybody thought Netscape was going to win the browser wars. And then what happened? Ooh, Microsoft Explorer comes out. And then what does Google say? Hold my beer. I'm putting in Chrome. And then Chrome takes over. So you can't pick winners sometimes. And I think in robotics, you can't always pick the winner. This stock kind of proves that one. So, but if you believe in it, I don't think there's anything wrong with holding it as long as it's a small position. If it were a larger position, I would tell you just cut it. Just cut it and keep 10%. Because right now you have nothing positive that's going right. The Bollinger Bands are expanding out on the weekly. It's not oversold. It's at 38. It's not in the 20s. So I just think, you're going to have problems, filling that order probably because it's such a low float. John Newhall from Spotfiy, great episode, saw Apple drop below 230 and bought the dip, forgot to move on Tesla. I am also a believer in IONQ. Question, when looking at charts for patterns like falling wedges or head and shoulders, doesn't matter what time frame you see the pattern, a double bottom on a weekly versus a double bottom on a monthly chart, or even in small time frames for trading, 5 minutes versus 1 minute, might be a newbie question, but still wanted to ask. It's a great question because not everybody understands. Now, I will tell you, there are tons of videos on YouTube. Do not pay for a course. There is no course that will absolutely get you every answer that you want. There are courses that may get you started and may be worth beneficial, but I can tell you, Warrior Trading, Zip Trader, they all have great, even Trendspider's website has great stuff. And so just Google, you can go and just Google in time frames on charts on YouTube, and you'll find a bunch of people doing it. I will tell you my learning is that, you have never seen me put a falling wedge on a chart. You have never seen me put a head and shoulders. Yes, I may display those charts from Trendspider or other people that I respect. The only thing that you've seen me do is double bottoms, okay? That you mentioned. So all of the other stuff I don't do. Now, let's take Dell, for instance, okay? See this green line? That's a trend line. And so I put that on a weekly. And if you take a look at the weekly, yes, we've broken that trend line. The weekly means much more than a 4-hour, means much more than a daily. And a monthly would even mean more. I always learned that the longer the time frame, the more justification in a trend. Doesn't mean that a falling wedge is all of a sudden going to come out of that falling wedge. But it does mean that if you're in that falling wedge and you're at the top and it continues to go down, then that's an issue on a weekly. Whereas the falling wedge has been hit and you see an uptick on a daily. The monthly means more than the weekly means more than the daily means more than the 4-hour, the 4-hour means more than the 65-minute. The 65-minute will move quicker, the 4-hour will move quicker, the daily will move quicker than the weekly. So again, when you're going down, it just means that there's more validity to the pattern. But when you're going on the higher time frame, but when you're going up, it means you're going to react more quickly on the shorter time frame. And that's the way I learned, John. It may not be right. Have at it. I'm more of a technical / fundamental trader. So, there's actually a girl that I found who trades just on trend lines, just 100% on trend lines. And she uses a weekly chart and she just trades on trend lines. So, and then she goes down on that trend line and finds entries on a daily. And so that's how she trade. Dex from Spotfiy, Dexcom before earnings. I went over it. I'm not a huge fan of that one. I'd rather see you buy at 80 and have it go to 100 than to buy at 70 and see it go back to 60. So some scans. There weren't many today. We are seeing, let's see, I'm seeing some more red as the market opens up here. We're seeing it pull back a little bit at 0.5. UCO, this is oil, triple leverage UCO. Algorithm does fine on it, finding entries, but I'd trade it on, again, I'd trade this one on a shorter time frame. mRNA, This isn't in a watch list. This is one that used to be in the core portfolio, and it was in the core portfolio during COVID because, boom, you can see how well this one did. And then in 2022, I said when it got to 200, because it was trading at 400, I said I'm pulling it out of the core portfolio because I don't see the pops that we were seeing then. The only thing you have in this is a flu vaccine. Nobody cares about the COVID vaccines anymore. Nobody. And mRNA has a flu/COVID vaccine that hasn't been approved, but it should come out. Once they have that, then you'll start seeing some revenues in this one. But other than that, we got Charter, we got Deere, we got RTX, we got Leverage DTX, UVIXY, UVIX. UVIX was just twice the VIX. Now this one's at 537. Again, it's a decaying asset, so you don't want to buy and hold this one. Over 2 years, you're down 96%, but with the VIX kind of being volatile and heading into the election, this one might be a decent one to assume, because I think that election is going to cause the VIX to go up. That's just me. But again, try that one. And AAPD, which is double leveraged. I think it's double if it's 1.25. 1 times bear. So it's only 1 times bear. Got an entry here at 16.69. Again, you lose over the long term because Apple is just a bull of a stock. So I wouldn't use this one long term, but if you want to use this one to trade against Apple, trading down, you can. It's at 0.78. This one is up 0.72. If you have any questions, hit me up on the link tree. Again, you got Trendspider on sale with the 4-hour algorithm. This bundle offer, I can't tell you enough how great Alpha Pix is and how much I use it in Seeking Alpha Premium. You saw it. Okay. See you tomorrow. Bye. Okay. Boom. Oh, my back is. You got a couple minutes with me. Okay. Let's see. Carvana. I talked to Charlie about Carvana yesterday from MLS too. That chart's just nuts. You can't tell me that putting a fucking giant coin into a car vending machine means this valuation. It's just nuts. I think Carvana is in a short position. We can look at it. I mean, the momentum is just crazy on this one. But it's 11% short. But over 1 year, you've made 521%. God, I mean, Wall Street has what, $168 price target on it? That's 15% downside. So it's crazy, but hey, trade it. In my mind, I think you trade it. The valuation's absolutely nuts. These guys aren't making money. The forward PE is 317. You're actually buying Palantir at a discount at 80. So, hold on. What do you want? What? Why? Okay. Come on.
I brought the bed for her over there.
And she's fine. Hold on. You guys are looking at my ceiling now. I don't know why. The camera's pointing at the ceiling. Oh, because I was standing up. Okay. Carvana's nuts. So, and I do think Carvana bought my Tesla at an overpriced price, but I think they have plenty of cars now, so I don't know. What's the best ETF around? QQQ. I think they're going to pause. I can't imagine. I can't imagine them staying at the current price, at the current rates. And the only reason I say that is because it does cost the U.S. much more money to service that debt. And I think the Fed is kind of looking at that and saying, maybe we don't want to keep rates up this high. So I don't know. Don't fight the Fed. They've said they're going to cut a 1/4 point. So I think they're going to do it. Morning, Marco. Morning, Brandon. TSDD. Oh, did you? Oh, Brandon, I'm sorry. Where's the taps music? Dun, dun, dun. I hope you were in that one with less than you have in IO and Q. PSI, it looks like it dropped about 25% since Tuesday. Or my Trendspider. No, Trendspider's not glitching. PSIX, there's nothing wrong with PSIX. Yes, it's down that much. And the only reason, it says market delayed data. Why is market delayed data? 954. Is it because it's halted or something? There's nothing wrong with PSIX. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. That's what's wrong with it. I mean, since May, it was a $2 stock in May, and it's $148 million market cap. Wait, 427 million. It's not a big company. So to get that market cap, up that high, that's all it is. I don't know exactly what's wrong with it, but it does seem to be not moving. I'd have to go into Fidelity to see. Let me see. PSI stock halts. Let's see. Stock halts. Current trading halts. NASDAQ trader. Let's see. PSIX. It doesn't look like it's on the halt. No. I don't see it halted, but let's see. PSIX stock. Do. Why would this come up? Oh, this is just general market news. So it doesn't include it. Man, I don't see anything. I don't know. I'm not in that one. I wish I was, but I don't know what's happening with it. It does seem like it's market delayed. If I go to Apple, does it say market delayed? No, it says real time. Something's going on with it. Costco, 100%. Buy it under 900. Again, I think that 900 is probably fine. No, Congress ain't going to do shit. Congress is sent there to be on vacation and to fight the other side. That's the way every congressperson views their job. They need to, get more people like them into office. So I hate them all. Any incumbent, vote them out. I don't care what party. Any incumbent, vote them out. What is it? NUKK? They did a reverse split 8-for-1. Oh, that's a listing split. That's a listing split. They need to keep it up above $2. So that's a listing split. That when you see a stock that low, that's just a listing split. They need to keep it up above in order to keep their listing. Rocket Lab is space, right? Yeah, I think that's space. I guess it's got some robots in it, but yeah, it's flying. 8% today. That weekly chart, you've kind of gone parabolic past. You blew right past that previous high. I would be looking at, look at the way it hit this one. I'd be looking at this one as a support level. And if you can continue higher, I'd actually be looking at this price at about 15, probably being a pretty good judge. But you can see that the previous highs, it just flew right past those two. Now, what's nice is it pulled back to this 6 and then shot back up. This 8, it didn't pull back to 8. It blew right past it. So, kudos, Chris, 300%. Okay, I'm out of here. I got to go edit this together, and I got a busy day. You guys have fun. Take care. See you. Bye.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. the trading bell, my heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell.